Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Alyssa, and for today's video, I'm going to be sharing a bit of my makeup collection with you. I'm super excited. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my primers, my foundations, my concealers, and my setting sprays today. And I'm hoping while I do this, I'm also going to declutter a bit. We shall see. I feel like I do a pretty good job in this, what do you want to call it, category, in these categories maybe, keeping it pretty minimal because I do try to make sure that I'm using things up. If I don't like something, I really do try and get rid of it kind of quickly so it doesn't sit in my drawer and I let stuff go bad. So I'm excited to share this stuff with you guys. I really hope that you enjoy the video, and if you would like to see this part of my makeup collection, then let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first primers I'm going to talk to you guys about, I'm going to hold up at the same time. These are my favorite primers in my collection, hands down. And these are the Fenty Beauty primers. This one right here is the original Pro Filtr, and this one right here is the True Matte Pro Filtr foundation. As you can see, I am literally scraping this one out of the bottle. This is my favorite primer, hands down, period. This one is also really, really good. Now, I have done a video comparing the two of these side by side, and I will link it up here. But if you want the Cliff Notes version, for me, they really are not that different. I would say the matte keeps me matte a little bit longer than the original, but not by much, not where it really matters to me. This one works so great for me, and it works with literally almost every foundation that I use. And so that is why I love it so much. I have purchased 2 or 3 of these already. I will continue to repurchase. Obviously, I'm not going to give this away. I'm almost done using it and it'll go in the trash. I do think what I will do, however, depending on where I'm at when that happens, I may not repurchase this until I finish the matte one, just because they are so similar, and to help kind of use the stuff in my collection and not just like let it sit around. Next, I have this Milk Makeup Hydrogrip primer, and I really, really like this primer, you guys. Now, this primer does come with a learning curve for sure. You definitely want to make sure when you put this on that you like go ahead, put it on, rub it out to where you want it, and then immediately just start patting it in. If you rub too long like you would with a normal primer, it will start to ball up, it will be funky, it will not work. But I really like this primer. I will be keeping it and finishing it up. I have used, I think, maybe almost half of it, which, I mean, that says something, I think, because, you know, this isn't my favorite in my collection, but it's really, really great, especially if you have oily skin. So this one right here is the Marc Jacobs, I think it's called like the Undercover Coconut Primer or something like that. I only have this because I got it in like a Marc Jacobs set a while ago. It had like the body highlighter, the mist, and then this in there. I don't think it's supremely pore filling, but I do know it is quite hydrating. With my oily skin, this just does not work for me. I literally think I have tried it one time and it just sits in my drawer. So this is not for me, so I am going to be parting with it. I don't really think, if I'm being honest, that it's anything super special, even just in general. I think for the price, it's like $45 or something because it's Marc Jacobs. I definitely don't think it's worth $45, but like I said, I do want to give this to somebody who probably could use it. I just wouldn't recommend it to anyone per se, because I don't think that it's that special, if I'm being honest. So this is the Touch in Sol No Poreblem Primer, and I know many of you have to know about this. I have had this for quite a while. I have used quite a bit of it, obviously, as you can see up here at the top. I don't think it is bad. I definitely think it's very affordable, which I do appreciate. Now, it's not my favorite primer at all. This definitely is one that works better for me in like the fall and winter months where my skin is less likely to get more oily. I do think this fills in the pores quite nicely, but it just doesn't really prolong the longevity of my makeup or anything. So I try to make sure if I use it, one, like I said, it's more fall winter time, and then 2, that I'm not trying to make my makeup last for hours. Okay guys, so this next primer is a super fun one. This is the Kaja Dream Puff Radiant Mousse Primer, and yes, it is a mousse. It is so fun and so unique. I have done a full review and wear test on it, and I will link it up here for you guys if you want to check it out. But I really do like this primer. Now, I have to use it again during like the fall and winter months because it does have more of that like radiant type glow. I will show you guys what it looks like because I do think it is so fun and so different. So like you do squeeze it and it do comes out like a mousse. A lot. No, come up here. Okay. This is what it looks like. you pretty much do just rub it in. This is way too much. You do not need this much. You do have to be careful when you are squirting it out and everywhere. But as you rub it in, it does disperse, so don't get nervous. You just gotta keep rubbing it in like this. And eventually it leaves you with this really beautiful, now my whole arm's gonna be just so shiny, but it leaves you with this really beautiful glow that I just really, really like. And I was so surprised that this actually lasted as long as it did on my oily skin, and it made my skin just look so nice and hydrated. It gave me that like glow from within, so it didn't make me look greasy or anything. Now I will say that is about all this primer is good for. This is not a pore filling primer. This is not a primer that's going to make your makeup last longer or anything like that. So you definitely just want to make sure that you are pairing it with other primers that are going to help your makeup last or fill in your pores. I always use kind of like a mattifying pore filling primer and then put this on top, and I really like it. I am going to continue to use it up because I do just think it is fun and different. Now I will not repurchase it because again, it doesn't have that much of a purpose, but it is really nice for what it is. Okay, so these next two are from the same brand, so I figured I'd show them side by side. These are both CoverFx primers, and this one right here is the blurring primer, and this one over here is the like water cloud foam, what is it called? Water cloud primer. And so this one is my favorite out of the two for sure. This one comes out like a beige color. It's really pore filling. It's really, really nice. It is very smoothing and it makes my makeup last quite a while. This one is different. It comes out more liquidy. It's like a white kind of color. It does fill in my pores. Honestly, they kind of work the same for me if I'm being real. But again, I do definitely prefer this one over the Water Cloud. So this one right here is the Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer from their Pores No More line. I definitely have to be careful what foundations I pair it with. I definitely don't pair it with a luminizing primer because I am oily, but I do find that this fills in my pores a pretty decent amount, and it does give me a light kind of glow to the skin. Okay, so this one is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. Again, this is one that I primarily wear more fall, winter type months. In all honesty, you guys, I have used this quite a bit. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot of product really left in here, but this is not a standout primer to me. I will finish it up, but I will not repurchase. This next one is the Benefit Porefessional's the Hydrating Primer, and I got this in a BoxyCharm. I did try it out. I actually did not mind it, but to be honest, I feel like it is very, very, very similar to the original Porefessional. I guess it is a slight bit more hydrating, but I don't find myself using a ton of silicone primers. So depending on how I feel, I actually may be getting rid of this one. I don't reach for this a lot, and I think I've used it maybe one time, and so I don't really know that I want to keep it. So this one right here is the Henricksen, the Banana Bright Face Primer. I was so excited to get this one, you guys, because I love their eye cream so much. I think that I am going to have to try this more again fall winter. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Like, it wasn't like anything to write home about. So what I'm going to do with this one is hold on to it for this upcoming fall and winter season, and if I try it then and it's really again nothing special, I may pass it along, because so far I've only used it once and I don't want to waste it. But again, I really didn't think it was anything supremely special the first time that I tried it. So this right here is another Touch in Soul product, and this is the No Poreblem Prime Essence. I'm pretty sure, again, I got this in some sort of subscription box. I would not buy this on my own because it definitely is just like a liquid type. So this is definitely just kind of like, as much as it literally is like a serum or something. It does leave a really nice hydrated look to the skin, and so for me, I choose to use this product again more fall winter, and I only really use this, you guys, if I'm doing like a no makeup look. If I'm gonna put foundation all over my face, I do not use this. So I know you guys already know about this one. This is the Tatcha Silk Canvas. Whew, you guys, I have mixed feelings on this. Honestly, I bought it because when it first came out, you guys know this was raved about. I don't think it's a bad primer. I don't think it's worth the price. I have heard better things about their newer one in the squeeze tube, which I would be interested to try out, but I'm not going to anytime soon because I have quite a lot of this in here. I do want to try and continue to use it because I don't hate it, but I definitely just don't think it is worth the price that they want for it. Again, this is something that works for me if I'm not going to wear makeup for a supremely long period of time, and I'm going to pair it with a more mattifying foundation. So just keep in mind all that if you have oily skin. It's not bad, but it's nothing special. I would not recommend it to you guys just because I think it's too expensive. And that brings me into the next one, because you can definitely get these e.l.f. putty primers, which are pretty much the exact same thing, especially the original one, for less than a third of the price. So this is the putty primer. This is the matte one because obviously I have more oily type skin. I have used it a few times now. I kept this one over the original one because I have the Tatcha primer. Like, I didn't feel the need to have both, and I paid way more for the Tatcha primer, so I didn't keep the e.l.f. one. This is not bad, but if I'm being honest, I don't think I'm someone that really likes these type of primers. It's okay. I don't really like the fact that I have to put my finger in it if I'm keeping it real. I prefer a primer with a pump. It feels dirty, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And so I am going to continue to use it because I have it and it was not expensive. But in all honesty, if I keep seeing myself not reach for it and I continue to reach for other things over it, I will just throw it in the trash because it just wasn't that expensive and I would be okay without it. But it's still rather new in my collection, so I'm willing to see it through a little bit longer. So this next one is the Makeup Revolution Pore Blur Primer, and I tried this out when I tested out one of their foundations, which I literally hated, but this was so good, you guys. This was a standout primer for me. I really liked it. It filled in my pores good. I think it worked well with the other foundations that I've tried it with. It doesn't prolong my makeup a super long time. Like, I definitely could get like a work day out of it, but for the price that I paid for it, I am not mad. I am definitely going to use this bad boy up. So this one is the Milani Prime Shield, the Mattifying Primer. And again, this is another one that I was really impressed with. I did a full face testing out Milani makeup and I tried this in that video and I actually really liked it. It is a little bit more silicone-y, but less than the one I just spoke about. It does come out clear. I think it works really well. Now again, this is not one that I'm gonna get hours and hours and hours and hours and hours out of. This one right here is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Primer. This is an oldie but a goodie, you guys. I really like this primer. It is really solid. It's a more kind of silicone based primer again, but it worked for my skin way back in the day, and I picked up this just to kind of have another backup, so as I use some stuff I can try it again. So this one is the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer, and this one is also in the packaging because I recently picked this up in a boxy pop-up shop, and it sounded like it would be right up my alley. Again, I'm definitely just trying to make sure that I'm using up the other primers that I have before I open this, so I anticipate opening it soon. If you guys want to see a video on that, just let me know. This one is the Huda Beauty Matte Perfection, and this is in the packaging because this was actually recently gifted to me from a friend, and I have yet to try it, so I'm very excited because again, it kind of sounds like it is something that would be right up my alley. Again, if you want to see my thoughts and opinions on that, let me know. And the same goes for this one right here, this Estee Lauder Cinematic Complexion Liquid. This was gifted to me by a friend for me to try out because I don't think it worked for her. And so I'm pretty excited. You guys, the thing about this one, it has the coolest, like most bougie little packaging. I kind of just want to like set it out on my vanity, but I want to keep it in its box, so I like know that I need to try it out. But I am really excited to try this one as well. Okay, so moving on to my foundations. This one right here is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation, and oh my gosh, you guys, I love this one so much. It smells wonderful, and I have mine in the shade Warm Beige, if you are wondering. This is only my summer shade, so that is the only time that I use it. It has a really beautiful, like, satin type finish, and I really like it. It lasts a good time on my oily skin, so I definitely will be finishing this up. Next, I have these two Hourglass Vanish Sticks. I think it's Warm Beige and Beige. I've had these for quite some time. I'm almost done with them. I used to love this foundation back in the day. It was so good, but I do think it's a bit overhyped and it's not as great for my skin. It is a stick foundation, which I don't mind, but again, it's not my favorite. I prefer things with pumps, but it's not bad. This definitely is better on me in the fall and winter months, and it definitely does not last a supremely long time. My skin has to be having a really good day for this to be something high on my list. I will finish these up because I'm almost done with them, like I said, but I will not repurchase these. I just don't think they're worth it for the money, and they don't work as well for me. Next, I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and I have it in beige, bronze, and classic beige, and I do have to mix these. I do not really care for this foundation, if I'm being honest. First of all, I do not like the smell. It smells of paint. I also do not like the applicator. It is one of those like spatula type applicators where you have to like dig it out and like paint it on your face. The good thing about that, I will say, I guess, is that it's not a doe foot where it has a sponge on it. So I guess it is slightly more sanitary, but not really. The other thing about this foundation is the shade range is atrocious. It is an okay finish. Like, I don't think it's anything special. It looks fine, but it's not one that I reach for consistently. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these, if I'm being real. I don't want to say no, because my skin has been very different in these recent months than it has been in the past, and I have not worn these for quite a few months. I think what I'm going to do is do my makeup one day, try it out, and if it's nothing special, again, still, I will just let them go. But this is not one that I would greatly recommend. I just don't think there's much that's great about it. I know that there are some people that really, really like it, but your girl is not one of them. So this right here is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. Mine, again, is in the shade Warm Beige. This is pretty decent. I do like it. It is a thicker foundation. It's probably one of the thickest ones I own, especially from the drugstore. I don't mind that aspect necessarily. It just depends on what I'm going to be doing and how long I hope to wear it. I feel like this one has a really decent wear time, and I do think it pairs well with their concealer. So I will continue to use this. So this is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and this is my favorite drugstore foundation, period. Now I am in the shade Buff, and the only negative thing I have to say about this is sometimes, for whatever reason, and maybe it's my packaging, the little stopper up here will get clogged up with dried foundation. I have to dig it out and then it's fine, or else the pump really doesn't want to pump out good. But you guys, this is wonderful. This lasts such a long time on my oily skin. The undertone is perfect. It has a more natural type finish, so it's really, really great. Very comfortable, very long wearing. I really don't have anything negative to say. I do see myself repurchasing this, especially as I, go through or get rid of other things in my collection, and I really like it. So this one is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. I have mine in the shade Cream Whip. Now, the only reason I own this is because I actually got it for free. I got like a card in the mail, and all I had to go do was redeem it at an Ulta for a free full-size foundation, which I thought was great for me to try. This is obviously very much not my shade. This is very much my winter shade. I can only wear this at my palest. It is okay. It has a doe foot applicator, which I really don't care for because, again, I just don't think it's that sanitary. Now, I'm the only one using it, and I do try to, most of the time, if I'm going to do it and I want to be more careful, I'll put it on the back of my hand and then go in with my sponge. Sometimes I just go on my face because, I mean, we're lazy, let's just be honest. But again, this is nothing to write home about in my opinion. It's okay. It lasts a decent amount of time. I do like the finish, but I just don't have much to say about it, I guess, if that makes sense. Okay, so this next one is the Maybelline Super Stay, and I am in the shade Nude Beige. So this is a more recent foundation in my collection, and I actually think it is quite nice. Now, I will not lie, this does have a twinge of a pinker undertone for whatever reason, considering it says it's Nude Beige. It does not look it, but it does give me a slight pink undertone, so I do have to be careful like what I pair it with in order for it to work well for me. But I do think it has a really decent lasting time. It does give me kind of like a demi matte finish, which I do really like. It is comfortable and it is relatively long wearing, like I said. I wouldn't repurchase it, I don't think. I haven't worn it in a minute, so maybe I need to try it out a little bit more. Maybe with my tan, it'll look a little bit different. But yeah, it's not bad. I am glad that I have it, and I will use it up. Okay guys, so this one is obviously the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr Foundation. You can see that your girl has used this one. This is not my shade when I'm at my deepest, so I definitely wear this more like winter, summer, spring. No, I lied to you. It's fall, winter, spring. And I do really like this foundation. I know there are a ton of mixed reviews on it, but this works really nice on my skin. Again, I don't wear it in the summer because it's not my shade, but I love this, especially paired with their primers. It is just like a match made in heaven for my skin. I have nothing negative to say about it. It does have a nice soft matte finish, which I really like. It's very long wearing, and it just goes so well with any other product I want to pair with it. I will buy this again. I will use this up, and unless something else better comes along, she's got my heart. Okay, you guys, another one that I love so freaking much, you can see is like there's stuff missing. This is the CoverFx Power Play Foundation. I'm in the shade N35, and I love this. Again, this is not my summer shade, so I definitely wear it more, you know, late fall, winter, spring, but oh my goodness, is this so good. It is so good. I will repurchase this. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this up front. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It works well with almost every primer I pair it with. It lasts such a long time. Again, more of like a demi matte, very natural finish. A little goes a long way. I'm obsessed with the squeezy tube. I thought I wouldn't like it when I first got it, but I love it. Okay, so this one right here is the Anastasia Luminous Foundation. I am in the shade 305N, and oh my gosh, you guys, I love this one. This is another really great one, and I know you guys are probably like, girl, you have said you're oily about 1,000 times in this video. What do you mean you love the Luminous Foundation? You guys, I have done a full day's review and wear test on this. I will link it for you guys. Check that out if you have oily skin, so you can definitely, you know, hear my full thoughts on that and kind of see how it wears on me, so you're not as afraid. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous to try this at first, but you guys, it is so good. It has a really beautiful, like, natural type finish. It does give a nice light, like, glow to the skin, but without making you look greasy or anything like that. I'm actually wearing it on my skin today. It's so beautiful, you guys. I like it best with a sponge, so it does kind of shear it out a little bit, but oh my gosh, it's just so good. It comes with a pump. I think the bottle is fabulous. I love the back. Like, this is so fun to me, so I have nothing negative to say about this. This will probably be a repurchase for me as well. So this is the last foundation I have to show you guys, and this is the Huda Beauty Faux Filtr Foundation. I am in the shade Latte. I do see myself repurchasing this. I will be using it up. I don't use this often because she is thick, y'all. She is thick, but she is so nice. The bottle, I love the packaging. I love the matte top. It is so nice. The color is perfect on my skin. Dang near any time I want to wear it, which I don't even know how that magic works, but it is so good, and it is full coverage. If you want to look like you've got fresh, new skin, I know that sounds weird, this is going to give it to you. I love this if I'm going to do like shoots or if I really need it to last, because girl, it is not going anywhere. Works beautifully with so many of my primers. I do pair it a lot with the Fenty primer, the original one, but this is so good. If you have not tried this and you like a full coverage foundation, this is the one that you need to check out. So as a transition in between my foundations and my concealers, I did want to throw this in here as an honorable mention. This is the Drunk Elephant Sunshine Drops, and you guys, these are phenomenal. I use these to darken up any of my foundations that may not be my exact summer shade. You can add as many drops as you want. It comes with a pump. It has such a gorgeous undertone to it, and it does not change the formulation of my foundations at all. I've never had an issue with that. And I really like it because it means you don't have to consistently go out and buy more foundation shades. You don't have to constantly try and mix foundations if you like a specific formula. So I really like these. I think these are also great if you do any sort of makeup on other people, because it helps, again, alter the foundation so you don't have to have 1,000 in your kit if that's what you're looking for. This is a really great product. Okay, starting off first with concealers, I'm clearly going to be talking about the Tarte Shape Tape. Now, I have it in light medium honey, which are these two, and then this one is in the shade medium. I only use medium if I'm really trying to spot conceal or anything like that. I do not like that shade for under my eyes or for any sort of highlighting purposes, but light medium honey is my absolute favorite shade in this concealer. I have gone through 2 bottles now, and obviously you can see that I have a backup. This is so great in my opinion. So this one right here is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this one is in its packaging because I have bought it as a backup and I have not run out of a concealer yet in order to open it, so I don't want it to go to waste. I get mine in the shade medium. This is a really nice concealer in my opinion. It's thinner than the Tarte Shape Tape for sure, but it does have really nice coverage. I also feel like as long as you set it, it works a really great amount of time. Now, if I'm being honest, based on some of the other things that I'll show you in a minute, I don't know that I will buy this again after I use this one, but it is a nice concealer. But if you were looking for a drugstore dupe, if you do like that concealer or you think you want to try it but you don't want to drop the money, this Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, again, I'm in the shade medium with mine. This is bomb, you guys. It is so good. You can see that I scrape the tube. I am very much in love with this. Now, this again is more of a shade that I don't mind kind of concealing with if I'm not looking for much brightness. The same goes for the NARS one. It's not really brightening on my skin, but I love this, you guys, for my no makeup days, because I can put this like in all the spots that I get red, and it's like a light layer of foundation without being foundation. It's so nice. I will most likely continue to buy this over the NARS. It's just a staple in my collection. I don't really see myself not having it because this definitely is a really comfortable formula. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, and I have nothing bad to say about it. It's definitely an oldie but a goodie. Okay, so this is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This one is in the shade Toast. I know you guys are like, what the hell? I use this for more like bronzing contouring, but it is a concealer, so I wanted to mention it here. Now, I got turned on to this from Carly Bible because she's the one that uses this to do all of her stuff. It's okay, you guys. Honestly, I feel like because I don't cream contour very often, and when we get into the section in which I talk about my bronzers and stuff, you'll see what I use for cream contouring. So I really don't use this a ton. I also don't love the applicator because it is like a little brush tip. It just feels kind of funky. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm honestly going to hold on to it. I'm going to try and do my makeup with it one more time. And if I'm just really not feeling it that day, I am going to part with it. I will not repurchase this because I just don't think it's that great. And I don't think I like the formula enough to even get it in an actual concealer shade for me. But if you're looking for something to start trying cream contouring with and you're not looking to spend a lot of money, these are like $6. So I would recommend it to start off, but I have other things that I like better. Okay, I know you guys know about this one. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is in the shade Neutralizer. I have gone through so many of these, you guys. This is just such a staple in my collection, this particular shade in general. It works for me all year round. Again, it's really great. I wish it was a different applicator, but the one thing I do like about it is it's one of those ones like the Hydrogrip primer where it pushes all the product down so you're not wasting anything. It's so good, you guys. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I really like it. I foresee myself kind of always having this around in my collection. Okay, so this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have mine in the shade, I believe, light beige. And this is pretty nice. I tried the original camo concealer against this, and the original one is awful. It is so drying. It dries so fast. It's so not flattering. And this one is really comfortable to wear. It gives you plenty of time to get it all blended out. It lasts a really nice time, especially for the amount of money that you're paying for this. Now, I don't see myself buying this again, if I'm being honest. I think the shade range in this is absolutely atrocious. This is actually a little light for me, but the next one up was like too dark. So it was really weird. I definitely think they could up the shade range and be a little bit better there. So this is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. I have mine in the shade light beige, I believe, and I really like this one. I feel like this has a way better shade range than the e.l.f. one that I just mentioned, and I feel like this has really great coverage. If you are looking maybe into like the Tarte one and maybe you think it's a little too drying or you don't want to pay that price tag, I would recommend this one to try out. In my opinion, it's pretty similar, but it's definitely not as thick, so I also don't think it would be as drying. Okay, so this one right here is the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer, or I don't even know its actual full name. I am in the shade C13. First of all, I like the packaging. I think it is so fun and so cool, and it just screams Jeffree to me. And I really like this concealer. This is probably one of my favorite concealers in my collection. It is just so nice, and paired with his powder, it is just a combo made for my oily skin. This has such beautiful coverage. It's wonderfully brightening. I know it looks really light in the container, but it is not as light as it appears. I just think it is great. It is long wearing, it is comfortable, it does not crease. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. Okay, so lastly, I have this Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I have this one in the shade Sand. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and this is not a shade that I could use for concealer unless I wanted to spot conceal with it. I used it though, however, as my foundation, and I don't hate it, but it definitely, because it is a hydrating product, left me quite dewy, so I don't know how it would work underneath my eyes. Because I have used it and because it's a specific shade, I definitely think I'm just gonna kind of keep testing it out. And if I find that I really don't care for it, especially since I can't really use it as concealer, I will just part with it. But if you do like this concealer and you think it is worth me checking out in a concealer shade, do let me know your thoughts on it down below, because I've never actually tried it as concealer underneath my eyes, obviously because this shade does not work for me for that purpose. Okay, so wrapping it up with the setting sprays now. This is the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray, and I will say this is okay. It definitely has a solid price point. It has a very aggressive mister, I will say that, so do be prepared. The mist is fine, but it's just aggressive. I don't know how else to describe that. It does have a slightly weird smell. It's not awful, but like you can't help but to smell it because you're spraying it at your face. I don't mind this actually. I don't like to use it on its own. I will kind of like set it with a different setting spray and then kind of top it off with this because I don't want my skin to feel dry, but I do think it helps make my makeup last. I don't really like to spray this in like the center portion of my face, if that makes sense. So I kind of do it on like the outer perimeter, but it's not bad. I don't think I would repurchase it. I will finish it up, but it's all right for what it does. I think if you have extremely oily skin, you might actually really enjoy this. This right here is the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and this is my favorite setting spray. You can tell that I literally have hardly anything left. I will be repurchasing this. You do not have to worry about that. This is so great. It's great for the price point. It has, the mister is a little aggressive, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it disperses so much product. It is so nice. And I love that it's a plastic bottle, so it's really convenient for traveling. I love the size. I know it seems small, but it actually lasts longer than you would anticipate. It smells divine. It feels great, and I like the way it makes my makeup look. Does it actually like really prolong my makeup? I'm not sure. Maybe I just think it does and I just want it to be that way, so it is, but it is so good. So this is the Morphe Mattifying Continuous Setting Mist. Now I did have a normal continuous setting mist, but I ran out of that quite a while ago and have not needed to repurchase because I have so many. I think both are great. I would repurchase the original one if you're wondering, and I definitely would repurchase this. This paired with the Jeffree Star Concealer and Powder is bomb, you guys. My makeup seriously does not move. I wore makeup one time for well over 12 hours and I looked flawless. Like, I have nothing bad to say. This is really nice. I love the smell. I love the mister. I like that it's mattifying because I do have oily skin. It really helps with that. And I'm not gonna lie, it's low-key dual purpose because if I spray it up near my hair, it also tames my flyaways. So a 2-in-1. So this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and this is probably one of my most used setting sprays that I have ever had. I have been using this for the longest time. I could not tell you how long I've had this setting spray. I have always had one in my collection. I like to get them towards Christmas time when you can get them in like the dual packs and save some money. This is a really great setting spray, especially if you have oily skin. Now it obviously is more expensive than some of the ones that I have already mentioned, but it is so good to me. I think it is absolutely fabulous. I love the packaging. It has a really nice fine mist, and I would recommend this to you guys, and I definitely would repurchase this. So this is the Marc Jacobs like Recover Perfecting Coconut Mist. It came in the same thing that the primer thing came in that I mentioned earlier in the video. Now, I do not think this is worth a crap at all. It is definitely way too expensive. It doesn't do anything. As you can see, it's milky, has a terrible mister. It like spits at you. It drips everywhere. It is not good as a primer, point blank period. I actually just use this as kind of like a refresher. I'll take this on vacation if I'm sitting out by the pool and I just kind of want something that kind of cools me down and is nice. I will use this. I will never buy another one again. I will never do anything else. I wouldn't recommend this to you for anything, but I am going to use it up just because you can see that I've been using it for that, but it ain't nothing to shake a stick at. And then lastly, I have these two that I'm going to mention together because obviously it's the exact same brand. These are in the boxes because they are ones that I got for Christmas, or they've come in boxy charms, and obviously I just have so many open that I don't need another one. This is the original Smashbox setting spray, and this is the coconut one, and they're great. I have actually never tried this one, but I know it's pretty much the same formula as this one, just with smells on it. And I used to use this one before I used the all-nighter, and I really do like it. It's a really solid setting spray, and just because I received it in a boxy charm, I'm definitely going to use it. And I'm hyped for this one because anything coconut gets me going, girl, and so I'm super excited about that. Anyways, you guys, we are finally here. We have finally made it to the end. Those are all of my primers, foundations, concealers, and setting sprays. I know we really only got rid of 2 things, but like I mentioned in the beginning, I don't keep a lot of products that I do not like. And like I also mentioned throughout the video, anything that I just said that I would try within the next month, I'm going to go ahead and set out to use. And if I don't like it, I'm going to get rid of it. I will update you guys in the description bar if you're really curious on some of the items like the Wet n Wild Photo Focus or anything like that. If I did try it and I decided to get rid of it, then I will write it down there for you guys just so you can know if you like to be nosy like I do. But yeah, you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and if you hit that notification bell, you will never miss an upload from me. Last but not least, you can also come follow your girl on Instagram at AlyssaNPope, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!